speed to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. The moonlight, the summer sky, it was the best we ever had. And we'll stay young forever. We'll never have regrets. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. It is Wednesday. It's afternoon here in the Netherlands. It's 10 past 2 p.m. And good afternoon, Helen, and good morning, Sarah. Sarah says hello, and Stina and chat. I'm going back and forth between a beanie for a friend and a blanket for another. Hope everybody's doing well. So do I. Good morning, Susan. Great to see you too. And indeed, good afternoon, Helen. Great to see you all. I have been a good girl because I finished. Actually, I did do stuff. I mean, I finished and blocked the shawl, the whalebone shawl, which means I have a flat lay photo for you guys where you really can see it comes into its pure gorgeous beauty. So I think, wouldn't that be fair just to just quickly show it to you guys? You can like all be wow about it, and then we'll head back into the crafting bit. But yeah, isn't she gorgeous? The whalebone shawl, which I have been completed over the last a few lives, and yeah, I am really pleased with this end result, to be honest. I highly doubt it's the last time that I made this shawl. I will definitely have more makes of these to come. The only question is what colors they will be when we get so far. Also learned a few things while I was blocking this item, and I know how to place the mats for the future. I had just enough blocking mats to get this piece done. I should probably do some quick math for you guys if you want to know the size of it. It is from the top of the white to the bottom tip. It's 75 centimeters tall, so that would be about a bit more than 29 inches, like 29.5 inches on the shortest bit there in the center. If we talk the full height, it's more like a bit shy of 50 inches, so 49.5 inch. And in the width, it's a little bit shy of 50 to 51 inches. So it is almost circular if you take like, and you place a center point and drag a radius from the center all the way around, then it's almost a full circle actually. But freaking gorgeous it is. I'm happy it's finished. I got it blocked. I'm proud of myself. I hope blocking wise that once I am done with my travels in September that I really need to get started blocking all my shawls. I have a plethora of shawls laying that all needs to get blocked, and I have made myself a goal to try to get one blocked like at least like once a week or once every 2 weeks. And then I'm simply gonna go ahead and all the shawls that I am not definitely gonna be using myself, I just have to get them listed on my website, and then let's get them sold because I can't keep them all. And yet I already planned to make a new shawl. I mean, I found yarn already. You saw a little bit of that yarn in the thumbnail photo because, I mean, it's gorgeous, isn't it? It's an orange. I do believe this is a Cotton Kings Sultan Deluxe from Hobby. It's 100% cotton. So it's a little bit different yarn than I used for the other shawl because this is obviously 100% cotton, where the other is 55 cotton and 45 acrylic. It's a little bit thinner yarn also, so I'll need to hook down a little bit, not much. And this is the colorway 24, and I do believe it's called Koi Dream. It's this absolutely gorgeous orange. It does pop a little bit more neon orangey out from the camera when I turn it like this due to the light I have in here. But it is like a light sort of peachy orange to more like a rusty orange on the outer side is the real colors. Gorgeous cake. And I want to make Christina's shawl. So KME Crochet, or Christina as she's nicely named, she has made the shawl she launched this spring. It's called the Naria shawl. And I linked to that in the description box down below, but I can also just quickly pop a one Ravelry and show you guys the shawl. This is the shawl that I'm planning on making with that cake. She used the Edcadora Red, which is the darker cake. Exact same yarn further than that, and I'm just going for the more orange version of it. I also think this red one is gorgeous. So it is a more of a simple shawl, I think, in the make. But that's, I think that's going to be all right. I'm still going to go ahead and crack this one out in the lovely orange colors. So yeah, that is where we are heading with that cake. And of course, I'm knitting still on that rib knit beanie. So yeah, busy bits is what I have been. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Sarah. Everybody's saying it's beautiful. Thank you, Megan. Good morning, Megan. It is absolutely gorgeous. The Wilwan shawl turned out wonderful. I think Rev mentioned he might wanted to see if he could get his hands on it, depending on my ending price point. And I promised to email him, which I'll probably do sometime this afternoon. Well, not afternoon, maybe this evening. I do have a few photos I want to take of the Wilwan shawl still, more like for personal photos and stuff. And then I need to get other things sorted, and then we'll see how and what. Weather in New Jersey right now is 64 degrees Fahrenheit, so about 18 degrees Celsius, wind is blowing from west-northwest, and it's 99% humidity and sunny. It must have been damp this morning or just rained this night or something, because that's frungy. Susan says, nice new pattern. Yeah, I hope so too. That shawl has no particular rush. I mean, it's just, I will probably be finished with this before Friday, this beanie. And when this beanie is done, I need a new project, which is not the water pearl shawl. The water pearl shawl I also have next to me, but I don't want to do the water pearl shawl on a live until I kind of have the pattern back under my control and understand exactly that what I'm doing is what I want to achieve. So I'm gonna bring that with me on my trip to Denmark. I won't have time to craft on my way there. I think may have on the way home, though I'm more likely to in the airport just to take out my laptop and work. So I need to work less, especially when I get back, because I'll get back Sunday evening. I just have to work Monday morning already. So yeah. And if that means I could maybe sleep in for another hour Monday morning because I work an hour in the airport, I think I'll take that because I'll be late home on the Sunday evening. Good. I think that's pretty much the updates. As I said, it's going good further, I think. I do have tea today. It's the Mediterranean orange tea. Absolutely wonderful. Good morning, Jay. You just missed me showing off my gorgeously blocked shawl. It definitely has been a while, Jay. So Monday, I finished up the Welwyn shawl and I got it blocked. So I started blocking it yesterday. And I just pulled it off. Like I was 5 minutes late on the live here this morning due to me just ensuring I got the photos and got the pins out of the block. And here are the final end pieces after it's been blocked. And it is so gorgeous. I mean, it's hanging right here next to me. But even on this, you can really feel what it does to block a piece compared to not, because now it really gets into its full beauty. At least that's my point of view, right? So it's right next to me. Um, yeah, I thought you wanted to see, so that's why I just quickly swapped over. And then we're talking about a new shawl that I'm likely going to start working on. But we also have the rib knit beanie. I don't have that much white left, so I did find the full cake I had. Not that I'm gonna need much of the cake, but I mean, and I knew that I was likely gonna need some. And I'd kind of like to get cracking a little bit on the beanie, but I may also just keep it for tonight, some of it. So maybe we'll just like work on it for half an hour or something like that, and then start on the shawl. Because yeah, well, things are happening again tonight, and sometimes it's just nice to have an easy project. I did knit on it Monday evening. I did not knit much yesterday. Yesterday I was busy. I mainly got blocked yesterday, and then I worked and did other things. So let's see. We pop over to this view, and we pop down, like hopefully. Then I see it's quite bright, so we do need to darken myself up a bit. Ooh, that was a bit better, I think. So yeah, I'm just triple stranding the yarns here. They are like DK weight yarns, so rather thin yarns. There's about a bit more than 400 yards to 3.5 ounces, so 100 grams to about, not 400 yards, 350 maybe, not even. It's about 300 meters on 100 grams, so that's 330-ish, 320, almost 330 yards per that. So the teal and the orange are from some of these ice yarn millens I have. And the white is a Stylecraft Special DK Premium Acrylic that I have over from when I made Fleur. That is the absolutely freaking gorgeous mosaic blanket that I did finish earlier this year in January. Had been working on it for like 2 years. Insane. And Fleur definitely stands and remains in my possession. So yeah, the coming time, I definitely need to spend time on blocking pieces and such. Then hopefully that can help me get a much nicer overview of all the shawls I have and so on. But yeah, I have this 18 blocking mats and I had to use all 18 to get the whirlwind blocked. I think I could have maybe done a tiny few percent better job blocking. So it was almost perfect, but not fully. And that would have caused me to I had to pull it a bit further up on the mats and I would have maybe been able to stretch it a tiny bit more. But I mean, even here, I do wet block them, which means that I dip them shortly so they're like quite moist, fringe out the water, but not as in fringe like you would do a tablecloth or a cloth for a dishcloth. But I fringe down between two towels, so I basically first squeeze out all the water I can, and then I place it between two towels, and I will stand on it with my whole full force of lovely body weight, and I will do that a few times to kind of sort of squeeze the rest of the water out. So I don't like pull in the yarn, I just squeeze it basically. And then I put it on the mat, and they usually need to dry for like about a day, bit less than a day, flat laying with all the pins in. I find when wet blocking, especially with cotton or yarns that has partially cotton in them, that they just tend to do that extra little stretch. Not that cotton is super stretchy at all, but it helps the stitches really stretch into place. Where acrylic, I would rather give a light steam block. But it's important that it's light, because if acrylic gets too much heat, it it melts. So it's a very fine, delicate middle way, and it absolutely sucks to by accident melt away a project you just spent hours and hours on completing. So yeah. So right now we are just heading into this classic rib knit beanie. This one is one of the minis that's been inspired by Passionate Kelsey. I just do 3 strands because I am using DK weights that I'm triple stranding. Had the yarns been thicker, I would just have double stranded them. Would I then have done it with solid colors? I'm not sure if I would rather have had a variegated combine. I think when triple stranding, it's less bothersome that there are no variegated in between. I do have some variegated yarns, but not some that is currently earmarked as a beanies. Oh. And then, of course, yeah, we are likely going to head into the Naria shawl later today. So we can get started on it. And yeah. But finishing up this beanie, that will cause me to get another 2 skeins removed from my stash of yarn. Now, wouldn't that be awesome? And then, yeah, I have to dig into the world of new projects. So I hope to have finished at least another 2 shawls before the end of this year, which I'll probably definitely do. I mean, The Wilburn shawl in the end took me about a month to do, and I also worked on other projects in the same period. So, you know, I could easily crank out a shawl or more per month if I want to. But I think it's also nice to work on some other smaller projects in between. And I am heading into the world of doilies next week. And we are then still a little bit in the classic sphere of Halloween. It is getting Halloween time after all. Susan says the multi-strand knit hats are great for using stash. Well, I am working on using at least a bit of my stash. I mean, the white was just a small scrap that was like laying around looking at me. And I was like, actually, it's a perfect thickness for matching up with the orange and the teal. And the orange and the teal are just enough for what's left for a another beanie. But triple stranding it just allows me to use the 8mm, else I would have had to hook down, like size down in the needles. And then I'm not sure if I would have had enough for a full rib knit folded brim beanie. So I decided to be okay with maybe digging into the full skein I had next to it, because it's also just going to do into scrappy stuff. Good morning, Jessica. Are you planning on doing another shawl? Which one? I am planning on doing the Narius shawl. I wasn't sure which, and I was thinking, and I was like, well, since I got the pattern this year, and I've been really bad at when I get patterns, I just put them in my pile and I don't complete them. But I need to get much better at actually doing the patterns that I obtain before getting new patterns. I really need to get better at that. I have been really horrible at that, actually. And I obtained this pattern back in the spring. That is from KME Crochet, and she had a sale on it when she launched it. And I don't remember how much of a discount I got, 25% maybe. Yeah, obviously I decided that is what's going to be, because I also have yarn that works fine with it. Good morning, Rev. Yeah, I think the colors is doing up nicely for this hat. So it is definitely working up nicely, but there is a far bit still to knit. So the question is, we may somewhere in half an hour's time or so skip to this shawl. The shawl I will be making is the Narius shawl. That is, let's see here, that would be this one, popping over, from KME Crochet. I linked to it in the description box down below for those curious. And I will not be using the Cadora Red, which she holds up here, which is the one she made the design in. Here it is, like a gorgeous flat lay. The ones I will be using is a more orange one called Koi Dreams, if I do not remember wrong. We'll pop onto Hobby. Cake yarns, yes please. And it is a Cotton King Sultan Deluxe that I have. I have this one, Koi Diamond, not Koi Dream, Koi Diamond. This is the yarn I have in my stash. It's also a much more true photo than the one I have been trying to show. I mean, here you go, my friends. That is the cake I have next beside me. 100% cotton. It is 250 grams, so 8.8 ounces to 1,000 meters or 1,093 yards. It's also exactly what she used for her shawl. And I downloaded the pattern. I got it in the spring. I bought it in the spring. I don't exactly remember the date, but I am sure I can find that even. It just says I purchased it in April 2026, which is true. I mean, I do believe I said April 2026. Yeah, I actually got this pattern before the Whalebone shawl. The Whalebone shawl was on sale in June. I bought it, and we made it after I had finished. Like I needed a project for my car trip to Denmark, right? And that's when we bought that one. Well, not I bought it before, but that's when I decided to make that one. Technically, I could have done that one instead. But yeah, fine. So the only difference is, as I said, is that I am making a bit darker version. So I'm using this koi diamond and she used the Ecuador red. That's the difference. So she used this one and I will be using the more orange cake. Further than that, it's kind of like the same. I mean, that was my idea. And of course, Rev, I finished blocking of the more than gorgeous shawl, woven shawl. I just need to get some like nice photos taken, I think, if possible. Else we'll just stick to the flat lace. But here is it after blocked. That is gorgeous. I really like how it's turned out, and I really like how the blocking really makes the pattern pop a bit extra. So after the block, it's definitely no more room on my table to fit. And I mean, I would want to, but I need a bigger crafting table then. And I don't have room in my home for a bigger crafting table. But yeah, very pleased. I will send you an email tonight when I've done mathing, if still interested. Speaking of patterns, Passionate Kelsey's having a sale on all her patterns, and I have a 10% off code with this link. Ooh, sweet. She does have some nice patterns. For those looking. Thank you, Jessica. It is ended up. I'm really happy with one, and I think it's gonna be gorgeous with orange shawl as well. I guess I was debating on doing another pattern I have laying for a while, which is more in a blue tone, and I'm like, well, you just did teal. Maybe we should head out of the blues. Also, the water pearl is a blue one. So that's kind of why I decided against it. It is stunning, and it's thank you to you guys. I mean, I got suggestions on what colorway to use for it, and it ended up reasonably insanely good. And I will likely make more woven shawls in the future. I just haven't decided how, what, when. But it's also not super important right now. I mean, it was a nice pattern to work up, and it was like once you figured it out, it's reasonably simple. I wouldn't say 100% repeat, but almost a repeat. Because indeed it is written row for row, as well as there is the diagrammed overview if you'd rather want to work it in diagrams. And then I need to head into also slowly head into some designs. I have still plenty of ideas on my mind. And I also have a few other things that I want to attempt to start learning to knit. So, I mean, we aren't going to get bored this autumn. I have a knit shawl on my mind. I'm not sure if I'm going to regret that, but I guess time will show. So yeah, that's kind of the plans here. We are gonna head into a new shawl, and yeah, I hope to. I'm not sure if will I reach to finish this beanie today. I don't know. Maybe if I'll just keep knitting on it all the life. Would I want to do that? I mean, it gets kind of tedious, boring. I need to look at that. Good. Just want to know how far we are, right? It's magic 11 inches. We are far from it, but just to give me an idea. We're at 5, so we're almost halfway. Also, I don't have my double-pointed needles here for the closing of the hat, so that's not going to happen regardless today. I mean, or well, not in this live, because I need to dig them out to be able to close off the beanie. Whatever brings you joy, we are fine with. Oh, thank you so much. We're here for the conversation more so than the knitting crochet. Yeah. Oh my goodness. All the ramble that I can put out. I made the perfect steak yesterday, which I'm pretty proud of. I mean, that's not something that I do normally. So, not that I'm saying that I make bad steaks. I don't make steaks that often because of, well, it's a little bit more expensive meat, and I'm not a big steak eater. So it's more like something that has to be once in a while. And when I do make them and they do taste like when they're the perfect tenderness, then that makes me happy because, as I said, it's not something that I do make often. So that was really nice. I was like, yes, the perfect tenderness. You know, it says nicely on the package that it should be fried for X minutes each side, and it would make it medium rare, or it would do that or that. But the fact is, just not every piece of meat is different from one another. So I'm not really sure if that's in the end. It's more like a guideline that doesn't give you the guarantee of the perfect piece of meat, right? So I'm like, ugh. It's an itchy thing to make a perfect medium or a perfect medium rare steak when you fry it on the pan. Also, the library where my stitch group meets is going to be closed for a month to replace the flooring. Oh, that's sad. The organizer is scrambling to find a new place for the next 2 meetings. Well, I understand the need for new flooring. And I hope you find a different venue that you can meet at for the in-betweens. Here, no stitch group. I could definitely still imagine a place to have one. I mean, have a store and have that. That would be cool. But as I said, I also don't imagine myself, well, I can imagine doing it, but at the same time, I don't like the lack of flexibility one gets when you are supposed to be at certain places on certain times. I guess it all has its benefits and its disadvantages. But yeah, it's crazy. It's already Wednesday, which means that we are halfway through the working week for those of us who go to work. As I said, Sunday we are traveling, so I'll have to ensure that my crochet stuff is packed down to go with me on the go. And then we're going to be curious for when we're going back. And I'm going to have some good time, obviously, with my mom and dad. And also, apparently, I am going with my mom to, on next week's Saturday, we will be going where the organization is that helps people on crisis centers and homeless people, to bring stuff. And they also have, I think it's a jubilee if I'm not wrong, like they've been existing for so and so many years. So I'll be there for like an hour or so ish before we have to go to a birthday. So I'm kind of looking forward to see that, see what they all have of things. And who knows, depending on, maybe I can grab a little content. Ooh, Rev also managed to get a decent amount of work done on his blanket, 2 more skeins to go, and take care of your shoulder. I have a spare and I might do a simple border on it. It's not, is that the one you wanted to do the white border on, or is that the new blanket you want to do after this one? I don't remember anymore. I showed a friend the sweater I'm gonna get made or gonna get ordered, and she's like, so you can't do that yourself? And I'm like, my knitting isn't strong enough yet to make sweaters, but I guess it shouldn't be that difficult, I guess. It's just a little bit too intimidating yet. But maybe I should try to one day. If I'll ever get into doing that, remind myself to start with a chunkier one first, because it takes shorter time to do. I mean, it's quicker to knit with bigger needles than it is to knit with the thinner ones. We all know that. And if that means that it can be quicker finished, then that's definitely what I have to try first. But I also have a few crochet pieces when it comes to sweaters and so on, which I also have patterns on, that I want to do at some stage. I also have, I want to, this is like a waffle honeycomb stitch like in crochet for a full sweater, but I don't have the yarn listed in the pattern, but a similar yarn is maybe what I need to put on my wishing list at some stage. But I mean, it's not emergency yet. Of course, we're gonna see a yarn store as well. Oh, so it's gonna be a rather crafty week next week in the sense of being at places with crafty things. And I'll have my own little stitch group. I mean, with my mom. This is the variegated grey corner to corner. I have an extra skein of yarn, same color in case you run short. Okay. So if I did a border, it would be the same. The white border is for the next plant blanket. Right. That's also what I thought, but I wasn't sure. I mean, sometimes you can be rather quick cranking out those blankets, right? So I sometimes just lose track. Susan is asking if there's any community centers for the meeting, maybe outdoors in a park. I think outdoors in a park would be rather hot for the coming months in Texas. I mean, they have like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Right, you've slowed down. True. Hello, Racine. Great to see you. Rev says, my shoulder is mostly healed up, but I'm still limiting crochet. Yeah, well, just take care, because, I mean, it would be horrible to be back with the same injury. Sarah says, hey, Racine and Tom. So, Racine, I am just cracking on with a triple-stranded rib knit beanie, mainly inspired by Passionate Kelsey's pattern. That said, obviously I'm triple stranding because I'm using a bit thinner yarns. Also, I have a few more stitches in the row or in the round. I am running with an additional 8 stitches to give a little bit more room for size, for larger sizes. So I run with 64 rather than the 56 she does. And yeah, I finished the gorgeous shawl that I was working on, which I think VJ showed on her chat. I'm not sure if she was Friday or it's Friday 2 weeks ago now, week and a half, because time has been flying, honestly. Oh. And it still is. I mean, I can't believe that August is almost gone. Like Monday is the 31st of August. That is crazy. If you want to see that finished work, the size of knitting needles I'm using, these are 8mm needles, or well, technically, this is an 8 and this is a 7. So my working needle is an 8 and the other is a 7. And the reason I use, I use interchangeable needles. They are Knit Pro, the Knit Pro J'adore set. Let's see, is this the right side? It is. So I use these Knit Pro from Knit Pro the J'adores. And as you can see here nicely, one is missing from each. I cast on with 8. And my working one is the 8. So technically I should have an 8 on the other. But the gap between the cable and the needle is a bit smaller on the 7mm than on the 8. So when I have those on my 7mm, it makes the stitches smoother transfer over. But it keeps the gauge as for the 8mm because the working yarn is on the 8mm size, if that makes sense. And it usually works out pretty quick. I mean, I'm just not very quick knitter, so that's why it takes time. These are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. They are cubics, so they are squared, and the measurement is taken diagonally. So as you can, trying to see, I need to see what I'm doing. But as you can see, they're not fully round; they are squared. And it says 8mm, and some of it is kind of worn off, so I need to keep track of them. But it's also listed down here. There's also in a very small text at my finger. It says 8mm. I think that's embossed, and then it's printed on the wood. Absolutely gorgeous wood. The stitches slide really nicely with this. The interchangeable set, also the wire is like having this memory free thingy, so it like kind of twists with, so you don't have this twisty wire afterwards. The needles themselves, I think they're like 4 inches maybe, so they're the shorty ones. I also have a set with long needles, but these are the shorty ones. I think the long ones are nice for if you're working on bigger projects. I think when working in the round on the hat, these are nice because it doesn't force me to use the magic loop method. I could also do the magic loop, but I don't. And I think they work nicely. I will still usually revert to tacking double pointed needles for closing it off. I think that has caused me least frustration when doing it. And I can be a bit frustrated if it doesn't work too smooth, but that's just how I am. Rev says it's not the size of the needles that counts, it's how you stitch with them. Yes. It's not the size that matters, it's how it's being used. Exactly. What I may want to option for future-wise is getting a double pointed needles in the same brand as these. So I have some bamboo double pointed needles, some cheap ones. They're working fine, but I mean, I'd love for them to be more smooth, like these Knit Project doors. And I know that they have them also in double pointed needles, so that may have to go on my wish list. But yeah, further not like a lot of plans. As I said, there is one knitting plan that I have upcoming. Actually, technically, I have 3. I have a shawl I want to knit, but I'm the earliest gonna start when I get home from Denmark. So it's like September, maybe October, depends on how things go. And I have a hat I want to knit. I actually have 2 hats because I have a hat I think I know how to make a nice design for. But if I'll do, obviously I won't be doing that on a live. That will be a work on the side project, and if it turns out nice and gorgeous, then I will attempt to write a pattern, and then I'll want a couple of testers. But yeah, that is a future project. Ooh, I did not, because Rev, it was in the middle of my night. So Rev says, I don't know if anyone watched the blanket showcase, but I won one of the prizes. So what prize did you win? Congratulations, by the way. But yeah, no, I did not, because I was sound asleep. Even though I went probably a bit too late to bed, so I could almost have caught it. But I believe it was going to go live at like 2 a.m. in my morning, or in the middle of my night, and I really need to sleep at 2 a.m. Makes sense. I think I had something like 20 entries in the raffle. Ah, so it was just like an entry per blanket, and then it was just like a raffle, or were they also like being judged as more like a country fair thing? I mean, that would be pretty cool actually, but on the positive note, there is now less than 250 more subscribers until we will go into another Ravelry pattern giveaway. Oohoo, oohoo, oohoo. So keep them coming, those subscribers. If your friends aren't subscribed, have them come over and give us a subscribe. That could genuinely help us all out. And I mean, I would then gift you a pattern that you have in your Ravelry, which you still don't own, but then I would buy that pattern for you as a giveaway gift. Ruff says he won a mystery yarn pack sent by a lady who has been destashing for a couple of years. Wow. Cherry Astrahan. Susan says, I think I fell asleep during it. I will have to rewatch it. Oh. Yeah, well, that I guess all happens. They just put your name in the bucket if the blanket you sent was one of Johan's patterns. Ah, okay. He definitely is a donation blanket machine. Oh my goodness. But all those blankets, are they then going to the hospitals or veterans, or because you've done so many, so I can't really figure out which blankets gets donated to what and when. And I guess it's not as popular here in the Netherlands to do things like that. Which reminds me that I probably have more things to bring with me to the Denmark trip for that donation bit. Some was for the veterans home, now they are for the hospital system. Ah, okay. I know that in Denmark they like to make amigurumis, though no loose parts allowed, and it has to come in a bag and stuff like that. And these amigurumis they do for the emergency department. So like if you come in with an emergency and so on for children. So when something happened to them, and then they can get like an amigurumi, a plushie, to help comfort them. They also have where they get for children who might lose a sister or brother, they get this like 2 identical amigurumis, and one for the child, and the other one will go into the coffin to get buried with the child that passed away. So they have like lots of various different options. That's more a classic thing in Denmark. In the Netherlands, it seems to be more a thing to crochet those like lucky charms, the lucky like the worry worms kind of concept, where you make these small worms and you will like leave them here and there to kind of help comfort people who finds them, being like, I didn't get lost. I'm free for you to take me with you, kind of concept. But the blankets is not something that we see in the same level as you guys do in the US. They're doing focus drive for the cancer center, but the wider system still wants blankets. Makes sense. Susan says, I do random acts of crochet kindness with Rose Likes to Crochet channel. Oh, yes, that's probably what I'm thinking of. The random acts of crochet kindness, those like kind of worry worms and stuff like that. Yep, definitely. But here we are still cracking on. I have to say, I do actually like these colors. They're not bad. They are working up decent. I may always option for something similar in the future, who knows. But this in any case will be one of a kind because I have no idea where I can, like which exact yarns these were from Ice, these Millens. And it could also be that they don't have them anymore. Which is like, I did get, oh my goodness. If Lisa was here, she would know. But I mean, Pleta just sent me a newsletter with them having a sale, plus I have the 10% voucher. I'm so tempted. But I am a good girl. I have not ordered anything yet, but I really also shouldn't. I mean, I should be fine, just without, just fine. I have so many other things I want to get, but shouldn't either, probably. Oh my. Sorry. Mm. So yeah, we are definitely making nice progress here. But as I said, I am not 100% sure we will. Well, maybe I'll finish it this week, but I'm not sure if I'll have it ready for. So what's gonna happen is, of course, we are gonna go live again on Friday. But on Thursday, so tomorrow, I will have to record my yarn talk video because I need to have that prepped for next week when I'm not home. So you guys have something to watch next to the sort my stash videos and so on. Yep. Maybe what I need to do, even though I'd love to finish this one, I mean, it could be that we should start on that shawl also. I can't feel on my hands. I'm not used to heavy knitting. Others may be more used than I. Let's see. What do we think? 6 inches or so? Let's just ensure the stitches are nicely and evenly distributed. Ooh, 6.5. Ta-ta. That means we've done like 1.5 inch. But we still have a fair bit to go. We need to get to 11 before the decrease. Don't have that much left either, so I'll definitely need a new cake put on this. But we knew that, and I may end up having more teal left than I thought I would. But these ends, they will just end in my scrap pile of things. And then we will figure out what that will be turned into later on. So that is the thought, at least. We're almost there. The real question is, do I end here? Or do we continue until I have cleaned out the last bit of the white? I mean, it's not that much. Though after that, I will definitely need the other cake. And do I want to put that on now? Well, I have it here, but am I in the mood? That is the big question. We always need to work on what we enjoy working on. And I mean, I am sort of semi-tempted to get started on a new project. It feels so weird because I have so few whips. Maybe that's what's urging me to get started on it. Then I may end up working on this one tonight. That could be. Or we'll finish this row. Oh. Da, da, da. So are you working on anything interesting right now, or you just hanging out, or? I am all curious as to what people preferences and working on. As I said, I also like to have something simple, and I know that later today I will definitely, probably at some point, watch a movie. And then I need something simple, and I could knit on this then. So that's why I'm saying, like, maybe I should just, like, you know, finish the row and do the 1 stitch to keep track of the stitch marker. And then we could start on that shawl. Shawl making is also much, much more fun in the end, right? Well, it's not like beanies aren't fun. It's just simple. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Rosine says she's knitting on a shawl with homespun yarn on 15 knitting needles. 15! Did I hear that correct? Like, are you keeping track on 15 needles? Because holy smokes. That was a nice way of saying a swearing word in the sense of, because I'm like, that's a lot. Rob is sharing this photo saying, finishing current project, starting new projects because fuck it. Yeah. Yeah. So the benefit of holding this one for later is, as I said, I am likely going to do something either social tonight or watching a movie on my own or something like that. This will be great for working on that because I will need less focus. So I may just option to do that, and then maybe it's finished and maybe it's not finished when we meet Friday. If it's not finished, we'll definitely finish it because I mean, then there is so little left that it definitely will be finished. So I think, indeed, we are gonna on the fuck it kind of concept. There isn't that much left. This is done very quickly. It's gonna be less than half an hour to remove this, but I mean, getting started on a new project is very tempting when you have a gorgeous cake like this. A part of me is really tempted also to get the that Kedora red, but that's still my stash, and I decided to use this one, so I need to keep to my decisions. Racine says it's very lazy. I can imagine if you need 15 needles for it. I mean, holy smokes, 15 needles. That's crazy. That is crazy. I cast on 63 stitches. First row you knit 3 purl, 3 to the end. Then for the rest of the shawl, you knit the purls and purl the knits for about 36 yards. Whoa. Yeah, so it's kind of alternating without, yeah, okay. I want to, I'll show you guys the shawl I want to knit. If it wants to, probably not. I think it's gonna be in the face of, we'll try. Ta-ta! The Ladylike. I'm not gonna use strop yarns though. And this is made in kit silk, but I have 2 yarns because this is also a double-stranded one. I have 2 yarns where I will also be double stranding them, but they are non-animal fibers. So they are like acrylic polyamide mix, but they look and feel as if they were kit silk or mohair or something like that. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then it's a little different shade, but I think this shawl is gorgeous. So that is my first bigger, as in that sense, bigger knit project. I just haven't decided on when to start. Well, that once I'm home, sometime this autumn. Sometime this autumn. Good. I need to find a pattern. for the Naria shawl. Personal non-commercial use. You may not sell or alter this pattern in any ways. You may sell the finished products, but please credit blah blah blah. Yep, fair enough. Materials needed: a 3.5mm crochet hook. That's a good start. Let's pop in and see if I can find a 3. So I did put my 375 back in, but that is too big. I need the one smaller. Well, we're just gonna take them all out. I mean, 5.5, 4, definitely also not the size. 2, 2.5, no. 4.5, also no. 6, definitely too big. 3, no. 3.5. Here we go. 3.5. I will definitely need stitch markers. And we have a cake. So when looking on this shawl, and let's pop over here for a minute with you guys. This is what I want to make. And when we're looking here at the Naria shawl, you can also see on this shawl that they start with the light. So I think I'm going to do that too. And this is just going to be a lighter version of it because this is the Ecuador red and the one I have is the Koi diamond. So I will also start on the peach color, and it's worked sort of like this, if that makes sense. And then we'll see how it goes. Yep. So we will also start with the center pull, and it has the easy pull tab. Ta-ta. Need to remove the tag. Then what I'm gonna do probably, right now I have it here. I could probably keep it there. We'll just have to see. Could be that I will be better off putting it back into my crate, which I think I'll do. I am great at crates. Still have the label left from Woven Shawl. But this is the Cotton Kings Sultan Deluxe, so it is 100% cotton. Oh, where was my starting end here? Good. It says here, if you crochet loosely, I may advise you to use a smaller hook. Well, I do not crochet loosely, so that's not an issue. 1 cake of Hobby Sultan Deluxe, or approximately 1,000 meters of fingering weight yarn. Yarn needle to even ends, scissors, and stitch markers. Yep, I have it all. This pattern uses a magic ring, chain, skip space stitches here, single crochet, stacked single crochet, double crochet, and picot stitches. I would not have thought this had picot stitches. Ooh. Well, it does, obviously, on the outer edge, I see now. Aha. Okay. And then there is lots of further information and aberrations as to the pattern. I should be fine. Gauge, not critical for the project, but may affect the yarn quantities required. Additional notes. So 21 double crochets should give about 4 inches. Good to know. Chain 1 is not counted as a stitch unless stated otherwise. It's US terms. Very important to know if it's US or UK terms. At the very end of the row, there's going to be a note with stitch count. You can keep track of your work easily or avoid the mistakes. It's written in different color and bold, blah, blah, blah. Starting with row 5. I include stitch count per side, excluding the chain 2 space in the middle. Aha. And then it says blocking is essential to enhance lace pattern work of your shawl to ensure the edges are straight. Fair enough. Stack single, I don't know. Pivot stitch, I don't know. There's tutorials for all of them. Magic ring tutorials, we do not know. We should know that. So let's start by creating magic ring. Ta-ta. Magic ring formed. And this yarn is definitely thinner than the twister. I feel it already just by picking it up. This is definitely much thinner. Da, 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 da. Or instead chain 4, slip stitch into. No, I don't need that. Chain 1. Yes. 5 double crochets. This is where I make the first, and I'm like, I should find my stitch markers. Rev says he's still slowly working away on his throw. It is, though, an easy, mindless pattern. I hope this one is going to be an easily mindless pattern too. I don't know yet. I want the dark blue one. So I have stitch markers for the starting stitch of the rows. It's not that I can't see them, it just causes me to find them quicker in the sense of it, yeah, and to ensure they don't sort of disappear into themselves. 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Then we chain 2 and we do 5 more, and then we need to pull the ring tight. Yay. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And we pull. Yep, done. Row 2. Stacked single crochet. Yep, I like them stacked. So this is actually a designer who also prefers using stacked single crochets opposed to saying chain 3 to replace your double crochet. May I just say that I enjoy this fact that somebody has the same ideas than me, saying that the stacked singles kind of just shows off nicer. That's kind of sweet, huh? It's making you feeling not alone in this world when you agree with the designer so much. Good. What I actually also should do chain 1 double crochet in the first stitch would be the same as the one we just came from, I would think. Yep, and the next 4 stitches, because if I'm clever, I should actually take my little stitch row counter and I should use that to help count rows on this one. At least until I know how this repeat goes. That would make perfect sense. We have row counter. It's on 49 from the Wilburn shawl. Now we are gonna put that down here and we are gonna do it. It's right now on 1 because I haven't finished this row yet. So we'll change this to 1. Racine says on your Instagram page, I shared one shawl that I've knitted before. Oh, I need to pop one on Instagram then. Give me one moment. Also need to change my think, yeah, it's not the right profile. Now I need to find messages. I have a message request. I found you. Accept. Then we need to go back to my messages. I don't see it. I just have the message. So maybe it helps now when I accepted your message request. Good morning, Lisa. Indeed, please like and subscribe. The more that likes and subscribes, the closer we get to me gifting a pattern from Ravelry, from whatever you have on your wish list, as long as it's within a reasonable price. I mean, please don't exceed 10 euros for the pattern. Ooh, these are actually also on sale. Oh, anyhow, I do not need to look at sales. Next 4 stitches. Then we do have a 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the center. So, Lisa, I just started on the Naria shawl by KAME Crochet. Because I made the decision to try to make all the shawls that I obtained at some point before getting new patterns, I guess. So here we are. One of my reasons, one of my many reasons. And I finished the Vilwin shawl and I got it blocked. I will show a photo for you in a few. I just need to finish this row. That would be nice. Just let me finish the row. And a double crochet. Like that. Yay, row 2 done. Bing. Good. Okay, so Lisa, you're sitting. This is the blocked version of the Whirlwind shawl. Finished, blocked, gorgeous. I am so pleased with the end result here. I mean, I'm definitely having to make another one in the future. Not right now. I have a few other shawls to finish first, but I'm definitely gonna make this one again. It was a quite nice, simple pattern to follow. Morten makes gorgeous patterns, so yeah, I agree. Pretty it is. Very pretty. Lisa finished the shawl on Monday and she started on a red teapot shawl. Well, yeah, she has a few shawls and she is making a new design that also looks great. And I still have lots of her designs I haven't made yet, which is also on my list. But this one I got this year and I'm trying to get better at making them quicker as I get those patterns. Instead, I can just like put them on my list. But this is one of those, you know, when Christina launched this pattern, she gave a 20% pattern discount. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get it. And then it's just been sitting. But the problem is eventually I'll just have them all sitting and it would be really stupid to just buy patterns and buy patterns if I don't know when I'm gonna make them. So all the patterns I have, I need to like get them made, especially the paid ones, before I start on other patterns, if that makes sense. That's what I'm trying to do at least. Oh no, you're stuck in bed. Are you sick or just being unwell or I don't like that. Don't forget to hydrate, by the way. Here we are, row 3. Oh, your dog is on top of you. Fair enough. I never think about the option or the reason for being stuck could be having to do with a 4-legged friend, because we don't have one in this home. So that just doesn't seem as an option here. But I get it is an option. I just don't think about it because, yeah, obviously. It's just not the first thing that goes through my mind. It might be if I had one, I guess, but we just do so many things. Okay. Stacked single crochets in the first stitch. Done. Chain. Done. 2 double crochet in the chain stitch space. Okay, so we need to make 2 stitches here. 1, 2. Then I need to do 1 in the next many stitches. That's always, the first few rows is easy peasy, lemon easy. So 1 stacked 2, and then 2, 4, 6, 7. Yes, and then 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, and another 2. Then we need another 7. Gotta keep track on these. Trapped by a large dog is an acute case of canine paralysitis. Aha. Right. Yeah. It's apparently a case I will never have unless at some stage I decide to get a 4-legged friend. That said, these days it's more a... Yeah, I'm just traveling too much. So it kind of feels sad. So this should be 2, 4, 6, 7. Then we work 2 into the space. And then we chain 1. And we'll work it into that stacked single at the top. Yay! Row 3 complete. It's almost difficult to see this because of the colors here in the well, you can see it, but I mean, this peachy color kind of goes along with this light wood we have. Row 4. It's the same as the previous row. Gotcha. My four-legged friend got cursed up in her blanket last night and fell off the bed. Oh no, caught up. Yeah, I can imagine both being embarrassed and maybe even confused. I hope she's doing well because I know she's not the youngest fella anymore. Mm-mm. Didn't I have that correct? Yeah, Jane. Yeah, yeah, yep. I did remember correct. Oh, sweet. And then double crochets all the way to the center. She doesn't seem to have any ill effects and has been spry as ever this morning. Oh, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. All given. I mean, reality is just also we have an easier time breaking our legs and stuff as we go older, right? So that would be really horrible if she somehow got hurt. But yeah. So we are back cracking on. I have to say, I'm actually pretty happy we got a new project started, even though we might get not too far. I mean, the knit bits, it's so much easier to have when I am like working on a knit project that's just rip, knit, rip, knit, rip, knit. It's so much easier for when doing things where you don't necessarily need to um, pay attention. Like if you can do other things at the same time. Oh, crackety crack. So what is for dinner tonight at people's places? Here I am going to make a South African bobotie, which means that it's like a minced meat with some herbs. They're going to have some beans in it. We're going to have an apple put into it. Some dried apricot will go into it, and it's rice and gets shortly baked in the oven and stuff like that. Do, 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 do. And most of it is already ready. So I mean, I just need to put the ingredients together and heat up the oven and stuff. So it should be reasonably easy cooking. Our bed is not on a stand, so it's only like 3 feet off the floor, a bit shorter than than if it was on a stand. Oh, okay. Yeah, ours is on a stand, but it's not like terribly high. I know people with higher beds than ours. Chain 1 in stitch into the last stitch of this row. Round 4 complete. I have to say, it's supposed to be more like this, but it does want to curve up a little. That's a bit funny. I should do like this. Eesh. Maybe I need a little bit more space on my stats, I think. Okay, cool. I'll do. That then also makes sense because I think if I compare my my whalebone, it's also a little bit more pointy. I think I need a little bit more space on those stacked, or a little bit more pulled out. Oh shoot, now I really need to read and keep track. Okay, so we start with the stacked. And now we did a little bit more room on it, so that should hopefully help. I just need to keep that in mind. In the first stitch, chain one, done. Then we need to have the 2 double crochets here. Okay. Done. Then we need the next 3 stitches. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and then it says chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 4 and single crochet. Okay. 2, 3, 4, and single crochet in this one. Then we need to chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we gotta skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the double crochets and the next 3. Okay. And center. Easy enough. So far, at least. Even though I haven't taken out that much yarn yet, I mean, you can sort of start seeing me feel that the center is disappearing here. Yep, it's going to get gorgeous. It is going to get gorgeous. Okay, let me catch up and chat for a minute. I'm taking chicken, onions, broccoli, and sliced carrots, pea pods, and saute them with garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper, and smoked paprika to serve it with some yellow rice. That sounds like a veggie day. Oh, chicken. Not chicken, onions, chicken. So that's not bad either. Lisa's going to have leftovers, made meatloaf, mac and cheese, cucumber salad last night. I have a busy afternoon. I'm going to pick grapes and make juice. Oh, nice. The property where our business is used to have a house on it. The people that lived there were planted very nice Concord grapevine. Oh, yeah. Well, then it's always good, right? I mean, you have the serum color in your Hirschner's melons. This is the Cotton Kings Sultan Deluxe in the colorway Koi Diamond. I don't have freshness millions, as you very well know, but I can definitely still imagine them coming from the same factory. I think it is going to become gorgeous. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think last time I used this yarn, this type of yarn, so a Cotton Kings Sultan Deluxe, was last time I made the was it more than a year and a half ago? When I made an Ultimate Sacrifice shawl in the purple colorway. 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I might be able to find it on Yarn Art's page. Let's pop over to say hello to Yarn Art. And yeah, we need it in English because I do not speak neither Turkish or Russian. Oh, they have new yarn. This looks gorgeous. Makes me wonder what it is. We'll open in a new tab because I'm curious. Bouquet. Oh, bouquet unicolor. Not what I need right now. I need not the flowers. I need the rose garden. What's under R? This is macrame. Ribbon rose garden. Here we go. These are gorgeous colors, and this one isn't in the rose garden collection from what I know. This one, I used this one to make a Ultimate Sacrifice shawl with. Oh, sorry, zoomed up big. But yeah, so use these for an Ultimate Sacrifice shawl. Which is still laying upstairs in my pile of blankets. It's not blankets, sorry, shawls that I need to block because I didn't block it yet. If I remember right. I don't think I blocked this one yet. No. What did I? I'll have to look through photos to check if I did. But as I said, it's laying upstairs. And the plan for this is probably to sell it once I have it blocked. What else do they have of gorgeous ones? I don't think they have the one I'm working with here. This is gorgeous too. I mean, this is actually also quite nice. Ooh, blues and yellows, warmer ones. Ooh, this is gorgeous too. Oh yeah, they have new colors since last I checked. Look at this one, my friends. This almost reminds me of one of the hobby colors, just not from their Sultan line. Then I was curious in this yarn, what is this? 50% wool and 50% polyamide. 100 grams to 160 meters gives it to be a 4-weight. And I would say, looking at this, it's a roving style. So this is almost a bit like the facets, maybe? Looking at these colors. So 3.5 ounces to 174.75 yards. Who has the facets yarn? Is that Lion brand? No. Where is it? Michael's? You know what I mean? The facets? But I think it's 100% acrylic. This has wool in it though. Oh, I can imagine making hats with this. Michael's. Yeah. look at these colors. I mean, ooh yay. Isn't this gorgeous? It's just a shame for those that can't take wool that there's wool in this. But I mean, I could definitely work with this yarn and make something nice from it. I have wishes and ideas. I have this idea these two are like the same, or it's a color issue. They uploaded the wrong photos. No, because this one looks like this. Look, I think they have a wrong photo on it. But they're a bit similar to the facets at least. Oh, the blue one is also pretty. Oh, that's not crocheting. It's me being sidetracked. But yeah, so it is different colorways they have for the Cotton Kings Sultan Deluxe. But if you ask me, it's the same yarn. I mean, it's just how it's branded. And then it could be that Hobby has an agreement with the factory that they make a certain set colorways for Hobby. And if Hobby wants one of those, they can. But the colorways that's Hobby's own, maybe they are branded in a way that makes them only allowed to sell for Hobby. If that makes sense. But I'm not sure how those agreements are. It's just me thinking out loud. Now, let's see. Yeah, I did this correct. Good. Row 5 complete for those curious. Ding, ding, ding. We'll flip the work around and we'll go back into stacking those double crochets, single crochets for a stack double, so to say. Like that. I am trying to give them a little bit more height. I think that was too much there because that looks not completely aligned, but it gets a little bit less pull upwards, even though it does still want to do a slight pull upwards. Need to shorten it a tiny, tiny bit. Like that. And then chain 1, and we do another 2 double crochet in this space. Yep. Of course, that also kind of helps increasing it up there. It's what it is. We follow the pattern here. Don't think it's the same yarn. It's very close though. To me, Sultan Deluxe is a touch softer. Ah, that could also very well be. I was more talking about the Janat's Rose Garden. For me it feels more or less the same. Though the twister I'm sure is the same as the flowers. I mean, I've held two up to one another, different dye lots, different everything, and they are definitely, if I did not know better, the same. 2, 4, 5. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. Well, does she really want that? I'm just gonna have a look at her photo tutorial because this confuses me a bit. No. Yeah, she does do that. Okay. I would have thought crocheting around it would have been fine, but 4, 5. But alas, no, it's crocheting into. Then we'll do that. It just takes a bit to catch the stitch. I mean, 2 and 3. Okay, had not thought that. The third chain. Skip 2 chains, double crochet in the next 5 stitches, which is here. Then it's center. Okay, cool, yo. Not sure if I mentioned it, but I watched Scorsese's The Irishman on Netflix last week. As a fan of mob movies, I would say skip this one. It drags a lot. Oh. De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino starred, but all of them were just way overacting, and the story was very substandard. Oh, that sounds like no fun. Nah. Two out of 5. Lisa says Sultan Deluxe is 100% cotton. The two others are 55, 45 cotton acrylic. Yeah, but the yarn art Rose Garden is also 100% cotton. I'm comparing this, the Sultan Deluxe, to the yarn art Rose Garden and not to the yarn art Flowers. The yarn art Flowers and the Hobby Twisters is the same yarn. And I also think that the yarn art Rose Garden and the Hobby Sultan Deluxe or Cotton King Sultan Deluxe is the same yarn. Ugh, 3.5 hours? No way. I'd probably tapped off meanwhile. You're welcome. Yeah, there is definitely a softness feel difference to the twisters and the sultans, especially the Sultan Deluxe. No doubt. I mean, this one is softer because it's 100% cotton and it's a soft cotton. It's not just so acrylic can make really soft yarn, but I mean, this is a very nice soft cotton. Um, so two, three. I watched some love stories this weekend, so to say. Some romantic series, mini-series. Yay. But I also started on a new series, which is called, I think it's called The Right to Die or something like that. It's on Prime. Let me go see. Yeah, Ride or Die. So there's a new series I'm watching, Ride or Die, which is actually pretty good. I mean, that is a woman who's realizing that her best friend is an assassin. And it is quite humorous as well. And well, it's like there's the first, I think, 10, there is like what, 10 episodes or something like that on the season, and it's just the first season released. So I am watching that currently. 1, 2, 3. And then I have this movie I want to watch, but I probably watched it before, but I'm not sure. I suggested to my partner we should watch it together, and it's an old movie from like 2004 with Denzel Washington and so on. And he said to me, "Honey, I think we've watched this one," and I'm like, "I don't remember it," and I'm usually pretty good at remembering what I've watched and not. So I might just start watching it, and then I will see as I'm watching if I did indeed watch it or not, and if I have, I can always just end it. As in finish the watch. Good. Decide if it's worth the time or not, indeed. It was not worth the time, but I was hoping it would pick up. In Act 3, it did not. Yeah, no. Not always. Not always, huh? And this also goes in to here. Good. Look, we are getting slowly starting to get a little bit fancy. That was row 6, my friends. That was row 6. And I mean, still, let's just put a stitch mark on here. Let's turn it around for you guys to see. Do you see what I mean? It's supposed to be like flats, but I always end up like, if I drag this one out to be flat, then this stitch is, maybe it will, yeah, maybe it will align, but I need to like pull it. But also the designer did say in this event that this particular shawl does need blocking. Lisa sent a picture of my finished object. I assume you emailed me? Because then I need to pop over to my email. You did indeed. Woohoo! Popping over to show Lisa's a finished shawl here. This is a very colorful shawl, I would say. This definitely shows colors. What yarn is this? Very sparkly without having glitter in it. Very, very colorful. The pattern concept I've seen before. Just like a nice plain simple one. It is very nice. It's quite pretty indeed. Lisa, of course, says thank you. Good. I finished row 6. Gotta head into row 7. Little bit of yarn. Pull up a loop. Pull through. Pull up loops, pull through. And chain 1, 2 double crochets. Then we have 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 7. Yes. Then I need to read pattern because it's getting to be a lot of text, this. But I mean, it's all right. So far, I'm getting it. Right, that was the name I was looking for. The Agatha reading shawl. Indeed it is. It is 2 yarns held together. It's the Universal Yarns Philly and Bella Pom Pom. Unfortunately, both are discontinued. Yeah, can't do much about discontinued yarns, can we? I mean, that is when FOMO all hits us, when you realize something is being discontinued and it's your favorite. Like, I have the same when, like, or even if it's a color that's being discontinued, I'm like, why would you discontinue this gorgeous piece of color? No, nah. Skip chain 3, space plus single crochet. Yeah. Then I need to do 4 single crochet, 4 double crochets in this space and chain 1 and 4 double crochet. And then skip. Okay, fair enough. That will help pull the sides down. That makes sense, I hope. 3, 4. So I do 4, chain 1, and I do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we blah 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 skip this, and then we go back and do double crochets. To the center, black. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Easy peasy. When they were clearing out the filly, I got a bunch of it. Yeah. I think it's also about catching when it happens. I was actually talking about you earlier today, Lisa, here on the stream, because I said, I got an email from Pleta that they are having a sale, plus I got a 10% discount code on top. And I'm like, oh, but I also know that I don't need the yarn. I don't have room for the yarn. Like, it's a good deal and it feels so sad to miss out on. But I am going to be strong. I am going to not get anything. But it is darn difficult not to. I know, right? I'm like, nah. They will have sales again when you get to Black Friday. I mean, I want to get like, like I like have itches to get a buy yarn, but I know the clever me, the sensible me is not gonna get yarn because I know it's not gonna. I know I don't need it. I mean, I have so much yarn, um, and we're at like episode 17 of Sort My Stash, and I think we might hit 29 or 30 episodes before we are done with this. And I do have to like crank those out a bit quicker. So I may switcheroo up a bit to have some of them posted a bit quicker, depending on how quick I can record them. But I mean, jeez, that's insane. I'm looking so much forward to having all my yarn sorted and stashed, because that just makes a very clear overview. That is what I need. Good. Then I need to skip and make 4. 1, 2, 3. I mean, even Ice has been teasing me with their sale this month. I'm like, no, no, no. I have enough on my stash. I have enough. I have enough. I don't need. But these companies have really been teasing me. That said, we still have that yarn from Hobby that I want to pick up, the Halloween yarn. I mean, I fear it's not going to remain on. Maybe it keeps on sale, but maybe it won't. Then if I lose out, I'll lose out. But I will first get it in September in case it's still on. And I will allow myself to get that green, black, gorgeous piece of Halloween yarn. That is an allowed purchase. I could save 10 euros right now. I mean, but I hope they will drop it to a 40% discount at some stage. This green fella. This is my allowed purchase. And I am tempted to throw it into my shopping cart right now and just get it. But I mean, I won't get home when it arrives. So I may, if it's still on sale when I get home, or once it gets on sale next time when I'm home from my travels, then I will probably allow myself to get it. Just because, well, it's gorgeous. And I also want to stock up on one skein of solid black, for example, because the colorway around these, all of them except for the pumpkin smash, it's all solid black. So that would be really great if both of them were on sale. But I mean, this is really a gorgeous green. And I also don't have this one. I'd kind of like to get this one with like these two. That would be okay. But yeah, 24.5 euros sounds expensive. It kind of is actually. But yeah, that's the one I want to get. That's my only permitted yarn purchase this autumn. Oh yeah, and of course I was allowed to get travel yarn. I mean, I am traveling next week, so that would highly depend. And of course, I will also allow myself to get yarn for any set projects, for presents or orders and whatnot. But generally, I am trying to be reasonable. Good. Row 7 complete. So this kind of does pull it a bit together. So it does align a little bit more out now. So that's nice. Well, we are doing okay, I would say. Yep. That bamboo linen cake is so tempting, though. Ooh, yeah. Lisa's also been getting the ice coupons. Well, everybody want to sell stuff, I guess. I can imagine ice is getting more expensive to import to the US with all those tariffs. I mean, yikes. I don't know how much yarn buying I'll be doing. I have a feeling life is going to get a lot more expensive very soon. Yeah, me too, actually. I have enough. I mean, I really have enough yarn. So the green one is gorgeous, and I have wanted it since last year. So it's just a want piece. And I've been really good. I mean, if I look at my yarn consumption, I have used up more yarn in 2026 than I've bought. So, Stina, you're amusing me with your ideas of buying yarn. I always have ideas. And Rev says vacation yarn is okay, or travel yarn, and that's technically what I'm doing next week. But it has to be really good for me to get it. Stina's been good. She deserves a little treat. Thank you. Love my self-justification. Well, yeah. Indeed, my stash needs more company. And we all deserve a little treat once in a while. I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah, and I have this Stephen West pattern I want to knit too, which I bought yarns for in June on my last yarn trip. Ooh. So, Absolutely deserved. It's always deserved to get yarn, I think. But yeah, not all of them are on sale yet. Oof. Why is this so badly reviewed? They don't have the Black Friday yarns yet. No. I didn't expect it either, but I was like, oh, maybe. And no changes to the Christmas yarns, except the fact that the Tea Time Christmas edition, oh, that green one is gorgeous. Ooh, but I don't need. I don't need. We know all that I don't need. I only very much need the green and black one. Just go shopping upstairs in your boxes. Well, I have been doing lots of shopping while sorting, right? I shopped today. I shopped out of my box today. We've already gone through this yarn in my sort stash. So this will technically, yes, it came from a box. This is a long time ago I bought this piece of yarn. I don't even remember when I bought this yarn. I mean, maybe 2003? I mean, it's a long time ago I bought it, so. So I think that definitely counts as shopping my stash. I did not intentionally buy this yarn to use this yarn. But I mean, I am on a yarn diet, but I'm not on a yarn buying ban. So I am allowed to buy under certain under certain circumstances. I'm not allowed to buy just to buy. But I'm allowed to get, like, if there's a yarn I need for a project that I am also actively gonna like work on soon-ish, then sure. But I am not not allowed just to get yarn because, oh, it's a good deal. Of course, to get free shipping maybe, but then we are back into giving myself good reasons for getting yarn. But I mean, I need to have clear plans for everything that I get, if I get it, for when to and all that stuff. Okay, stacked single crochet in the first stitch, chain 1, 2, that's what I've done. Then we need to do 9. Would that fit? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. It does. So I mean, I have sort of clear rules, and the end goal is still to have used more yarn in 2026 than I bought. And ideally, I have used both more skeins, a weight and length of yarn. And even if I just get one cake, I will still be positive on that goal. Yay! That should be 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. It is 9. Yay, hey, hey, hey. So we are back into the chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, we'll do that. Single crochet in the chain 1 space. Yes. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we jump all the way over here to continue those until we get to the center. Oh, that's an easy row. That's nice. I also have to keep reminding myself that I pre-ordered that yarn advent. Yeah, you are getting a yarn advent. Or 2. That's true. I am curious to see that one, by the way. Yes, I have been a good girl. I shopped this one in my stash. So I'm using for my stash, and I'm using more yarn and stuffs. So there's like an active destashing going on. And I also need to, so probably what I should prioritize. Do you all remember that absolutely gorgeous blue would I have that still maybe? Last year this time I made a an ultimate sacrifice shawl in all blue. I don't know if you remember. I'm trying to see if I can actually maybe find a photo of it. Is it that long ago? It appears to be that long ago. Wow. Here it is. Can we? Yes, we can. Now we are gonna see if I can put that in here maybe. Okay, I just need to flip it first because this is turned wrong. Rotate towards left. Perfect. Sweet. Then we'll grab this one. Hey. Okay. It's not doing what I asked it to. So we're just trying again. No. Why doesn't this wanna rotate around? I do not know. Let's try to see if it wants to pop right on this one. No, it doesn't. Eesh. That does not make me happy. Can I? It doesn't want to flip around. I am unsure as to why. So now I'm going to see if can we do, yeah, this might work. Okay, popping over. This one. This is not blocked, by the way. I need to block it. It's the Ultimate Sacrifice shawl in the Hobby Azalea. And oh, absolutely gorgeous to work with. Wonderful to work with, nice and soft, smooth, flowing, multiple strands. But I need to block it, and I have a friend who wants to actually pick up this one. So what I need to do is I need to prioritize when I get back from Denmark. That one I need to prioritize the blocking of. That should be my goal. So 2, 4, 6, 9 plus 2. Correct. So that is what I have to do. I need to prioritize blocking that. You know, the things I know have a future home. Instead of just postponing all of these things I ought to do. I have to admit, I will be ordering anniversary cakes when they're available in Canada. Okay, fair enough. I mean, we all have our reasons, and if we use enough yarn, I think it's just about, I need to try limit that stash. I mean, it keeps increasing. Well, not completely. I mean, this is officially I'm kind of like been status quo the past year. But and I'm not sure if I didn't decrease in 2024, but I did get less. And in 2025, I kind of hit status quo, so I used about as much as I got. And this year so far, I've been using more. So we are actively decreasing. Also, I have the feeling I've been working up more yarn this year than I have the other years on average until now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. That's 9 for the 2. I also recast on a Muscle hat that I frocked because I made it too big. Ooh. Too many stitches or 2, 3, or 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, so there are a few more projects on the needles, so to say, that I want to get done. And then all the designs I have in my mind. Who knows? Maybe I'll need to ask you guys to help me tell me if whatever I made is actually something readable. You did too many increases? Yeah, okay, that's too many stitches. That sounds like something I could have done. Oh, my goodness. I'm a little bit tired today. But I also know what the reason for that is. I went too late to bed and I knew it. Like, when I was like getting bedtime, I was like, oh, I should go to bed. And I didn't go to bed. And I was like staying up doing whatever I was doing and I didn't listen to myself. So, yeah. And I guess I'm not the only one. I think we get, like, it was much easier as a child. You're like being to your parents, oh, you're unfair. I want to stay up longer. And then when you get grown up and you can control it all yourself in the beginning, you kind of like try to pull the limits. And in the end, when you realize you probably really should go to bed on time, you still don't always do it. Like, but you start to understand there was a reason why your parents wanted to put you in bed at certain times. I mean, Jesus. I'm not always sure if I've learned. And I believe, like, if I look at my partner, he goes to bed like super late. He goes to bed after me. And I mean, I don't know how he can do it. I'm wrecked. And I get up before him, but it's like half an hour. But I definitely know sometimes he goes later than half an hour than me up to bed. And I'm like, how? Just how can you survive on a minimum amount of sleep? I have the feeling sometimes that I need more sleep than the average person. Maybe that's not the case, but it does feel like it. Stack 1, single crochet, chain 2. Yeah. And then we will read. Heavens above, we may be getting rain this afternoon. Be the first rainstorm since June. I do pray for you to get rain. That will be wonderful. I have insomnia. Going to bed on time never happens. Yeah, well, maybe that's what I suffer from then. Except when I sleep, I can sleep. That's not the issue. Like, I'm a night person, so I tend to be more up in the evening rather than in the morning. But I also know if I don't get up in the morning and I don't get my work done, I need to do it later and later and later, and then it kind of gets into a bad ominous habit too. So that's just not working. Okay, so change space, double crochet in the next 11, 4, 6, 10, 11, yeah. And then it's like the train, skip 2 chain is the third stitch of the 5. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. I usually operate on 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night. I'm probably around 6 on average. I'm sure my clock would have told me that I got a very poor set of sleep last night because I only got like maybe 5.5 at best. Let's see what it says. Reasonable. Sounds like it could be worse, right? Yesterday you went to bed 43 minutes later than your average bedtime. 43 minutes. I mean, ugh, that's not good. It was definitely shorter. Over the last 7 days, you have on average slept 5 hours and 58 minutes. And it was definitely shorter last night because it was only 5 hours and 6 minutes of sleep in total. Ugh. Yeah. Okay. I need to get to bed earlier. I know, but oh. Then something happens, or I get stuck doing something, and yeah. Yesterday I got a bit late home from the club. Had a good time. We were at social, but I mean, it it just made me think I need to do this and this and this, and I did this and this and this, but it just, everything kind of happened later than first planned. Okay, so I need to do in this stitchy stitch 1, 2, 4, 5. Then make the same over here. That would be in this stitch. Then 1, 2, and 3. And then I think we may need to just crack on with double crochets until the end, but let me just read for a minute. Chain 3, skip 2. Yeah, it is. Okay. But yeah, it sounds like we're a bit similar, Lisa, except I can easily sleep more. I mean, if I just go to bed and don't put a timer, I'll just keep sleeping. So that's not my issue. My issue is closing my eyes on time. If that makes remote sense. So the issue itself isn't sleeping. The issue is sleeping enough. So prioritizing going to bed on time, which I should be much better at. Because I know I need it, but I just easily get distracted on doing more things that's kind of keeping me awake. 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 plus the 2 in the center. Yep. My issue is going to sleep and staying asleep. Yeah, so my issue is going to sleep in the sense of going to bed on the right time. Sometimes it's also falling asleep, but generally I do that reasonably okay. And staying asleep, as long as it's a good period, that's going okay. But I also have periods where my body just tells me that it aches too much staying in bed. That is what you get when you have ankylosing spondylitis in your back. I cannot recommend. Mostly it's okay, but I sometimes have days where I'm like, I can really sleep out. And then I wake up and I'm like, okay, I've been 7 hours in my bed and my back aches and says I need to move. Like, no choices left. But maybe I can catch a little bit of sleep next week. I mean, I tend to go earlier to bed when I visit my parents than when I'm at home. 4, 5. So maybe I can just catch up a bit on sleep. Well, you can't really catch up on sleep, but I mean, maybe I can sleep a bit longer. One, 2, 3. That's a small hope. But also all depends because it can be noisy in my parents' home. It's just because it's not very isolated, and my dad takes the wind early in the morning. If that's before me, I will definitely probably hear it. But because I'll go to bed earlier hours, likely go to bed at earlier hours, maybe an hour earlier even, then maybe I'll just be able to sleep a bit longer. A couple of times a year, my body will crash and I'll keep sleep for like 18 hours. Yeah, well, I won't blame you if you survive on like 4 most days. I can do that for maybe a week and I'll crash like that for a week. My body definitely tells me when it needs a good rest. One of the things I underestimated last year, I may get an extra day off for this year, or next year. And then, yeah, I will definitely have some things on the agenda. Like next May will be a busy month for me. So we'll have to see how it all goes. Good. One more row complete, my friends. Row 9. Ooh. That heads into row 10. And that's kind of like the same as the previous row, so that should be easy. Of the previous row. This next row is the same as the row just before-ish. So that is potentially easy. So we start out by stacking and inserting a stitch marker. Oh yay. I am fiddling today. Chain 1. Work into the space. Done. And then we need to have 13 stitches here if I'm not wrong. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Ooh, I love when things add up. So I think we'll be able to finish this row. That would be row 10. Which means I haven't gotten super far, but I'm okay with it. We also did knit the beanie in the beginning. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Perfect. In the next 13. And then we skip. And then we head into these 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. We make a space. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we skip. Blum, 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 blum. Read, 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 read. Oh, that's the wrong row. No wonder it just looks weird. Then we need to do 13 here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Yep. So far, we are matching up. Sweet. And we need to do that on the other side too. And then we are coming closer to the end. Yeah, 10 rows seems like a pretty decent beginning. 3.5mm crochet hook is what I'm using. I think it's also working up nicely, and I think indeed the 3.5mm here is a perfect size choice. For this yarn, and indeed if you do lose what crochet what looser, then I would advise for you to probably hook down, but you all know that my tension tends to be, yeah, it's not loose, it's a bit tighter than most. Three and 4. Then we pop over here, we need to do 13, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep, that will be room for 13. Which means so far, no extra stitches. Susan says I have to go soon. Have a great day, everyone. I will leave you running. Well, Susan, I will be off in about 5 minutes as well, 5 to 10 minutes at best. Because, well, it is 5 p.m. here, which means that I need to prepare for some cooking. And today's dinner is has to use the oven, so I need to turn that one on. It needs to preheat while I prep what goes in the oven. It doesn't need long in the oven though, but still it needs to heat up. So I will also have to go soon. We all know this. I will be back on Friday though, because, well, I will. On Friday will then be my last live this month. Then I will head back on the line again in September when I have returned. Oh my goodness, I forgot a chain. Just quickly chain one and then double crochet or made this row. Indeed, take care, Susan. I appreciate very much that you were hanging out with us today. We had a great time having you amongst us, as always. It does line out a little bit, so it does help slightly ever so. But so far, here we are. I think soon we're going to add more of these, like, you know, as the room opens up for them. They will come. They will come. Because if I do like this, yeah, that should be all right. That will definitely be fine. It looks good. I'm happy. It does definitely need blocking, but it does line out a little bit more. It is getting a bit better. So that's great. So how much did we use of the cake? As you can see, this is what's gone. There is definitely slowly starting to come a little space here in the middle. I will at some stage not take out the cake anymore, but right now it is still safe to do so. We still have a bit for a color change, but there will slowly come one where it gets a little bit more dark in the colors. I will put this one away. I will get you guys to phase view a level. So let's say like this. Ta-ta. We will pack it away. And I have, of course, the knitting I need to get done as well. Oh, we did get to row 10, so got that put on here. Row 10. Yep. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had a great time in your company. I hope you had a great time in mine. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Take care and happy crafting. And I will see you either in another live or in another video. I'll be back on Friday at 2 p.m. Central European Time. That is going to be about 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, etc. And that will, as I said, the live on Friday will be my last for the month. And we'll see if I manage to finish my hat tonight or not. We'll see Friday, I guess. So until then, yeah, I'm going to say take care, happy crafting, love you all. Until next time. Bye.